Hello everyone, this is what we'll be connecting today. A simple network with IP phones, and I'll be explaining how we did all of this. Alright, so our PCs are directly connected to our IP phones, then our IP phones to the switch, and from the switch to the router. And our IP phones on this network will be able to communicate with each other. Here we have an IP phone of I have opened another IP phone. An IP phone whose number is 1004 and another whose number is 1002. Let's see if they'll be able to communicate with each other. 1004. As you can see, this one is able to actually reach this one connected. Alright, so let's get into it. First things first, what I'll be doing will be bringing up this router, then bring up a switch, then our end devices, PC, then our IP phones, 1, 2, and simple direct connections between devices. So our PC port on the IP phone, from our PC to our PC port on the IP phone. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, then we're connecting from these guys to our switch, starting from fast Ethernet 2 port, because we'll be configuring our first fast Ethernet port to be a strong port, right? So that any VLAN or all VLANs will be able to go through that port. Trunking and switching ports is actually beyond this course, so I won't go too in depth on how to trunk. Okay, let's see. Connected it to our fast Ethernet 0 port on the router, right? So what we're going to be doing right now, first configure our switch. Okay, first thing we want to do, go to enable mode, then our config T. Okay, and what we want to be doing at the moment is to create VLANs, 2 VLANs to be exact, one for our voice and one for our data. VLAN 10. Okay, let's name it data, right? VLAN 20. Let's give this one a name of voice. Right, let's exit this interface. Sorry, exit this interface. Then what we want to do at the moment will be to put our ports in each VLAN. So the ports that they are on, this one as we did before, this guy, are on fast Ethernet port 0/2, 0/3, 0/4, and 0/5, right? I don't want to just show you. So what we'll do is switch port, switch. I'm sorry, we have to enter the interfaces first. Int interface range fast Ethernet 0/2 to 5. This selects those 5 ports already. I'm in them right now, so I'll just switch port, set them to mode access. Then switch port access. Then I'll put our VLAN now, VLAN 10 for our access VLAN or for our data VLAN. And now it's time to configure them for voice VLAN. Switch port voice or voice traffic, VLAN 20. Okay, exit this range of interfaces. Then the next thing to go into our first Ethernet port or first fast Ethernet port 0/1 and configure it as a trunk port. Right, so what we do, switch port still, switch port mode trunk, and that's it. Now we're done with this already. Our configuration for our switch is done already, so what we need to do is configure our router. All right, so going to our router, first thing we want to do, put this as no. Okay, then enter. We also go to the enable mode here, then config T for configure terminal. Excuse me. Then what we want to do, because if you remember correctly, this port here is our fast Ethernet 0/0 port on our router. All right, so we need to go into that port and FA 0/0, right? No IP. First of all, this is just standard practice, right? I know there's no IP address on that interface, but let's just do it. No IP address, no short. As you can see here, it's coming on, but we're not actually going to be using the interface as our default router or default gateway, if you like, because there are two, or there's a trunk port connected directly to it, which means more than one VLANs will actually need to access this router through this port, right? So what we need to do is configure sub interfaces, right? And those sub interfaces will be responsible for managing traffic from different VLANs, right? And this helps for securing your network. It helps a lot, creating multiple VLANs for network security, but I won't go into that here. All right, so let's just go straight to configuring our sub interfaces. So how do we do that? First of all, go to our interface, FA. Remember, we're still on the 0 port, all right? FA 0/0. So we want to go to an interface, in an interface. So let's give this 0/0.10, right? Then we'll give it an encapsulation dot 1q, encapsulate it with 10. This practice is just for differentiating VLANs between themselves. All right, I'm not going to be able to explain it here for time, just so I don't waste our time. So let's leave this one, if you like. Now go to our interface again, and I'm sorry, I didn't give it an IP address. So okay, we've already encapsulated it. All right, so let's give it an IP address, IP, just the same way you configure a normal default gateway here. It's just we are doing that on sub interfaces. All right, so IP address 192, let's use this network, 168 dot, we use 10, all right, dot 1. This will be our default gateway eventually. I'm sorry, it's not complete. 255.255.255.0 class C subnet mask. So that's done. What we need to do right now is to go to the next interface, sub interface 20. All right, then encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation dot 1q20. Okay, then we give it an IP address. Sorry about that. IP address 192.168.20. If you pay close attention, you'll see, if you pay attention closely, you'll notice that I'm trying to create another network, giving an IP address of a device on another network. Okay, making this IP address on another network. I'm sorry about that. 68.20.1 255.255.255.0. Clearly it's on another, where did I make the mistake? Okay, still not complete. .0. Okay, now we already have two interfaces here. On this interface we have two interfaces, and this router is able to differentiate between them. All right, so what I want to do right now is to configure our telephony services. Doesn't matter where you start from, as long as you get your configurations right. So we want to create our max directory numbers. That's numbers that our ePhones will be using. Max DN. Let's give it 4 because we have 4 IP phones. Max DN 4. Max ePhones. Max ePhones 4. Alright. Then we want to create an IP source address. IP source address of, we're going to be using this guy, which is going to be our TFTP server, at the end of the day default gateway for our IP phones, right? 192.168.20.1 to be listening on port 2000, right? IP source address, yeah. They want to do auto register number. If not, you'd have to register each number manually, assigning a number to each phone by yourself, and I believe that should be tiring for everybody. So let's do auto register phone, auto assign 1, 2, 4. Right, we have 4 phones, 4 directory numbers. Okay, we've done that. Let's leave there. So what we want to do right now is to configure each DHCP pool for both our IP phones and our PCs, right? IP DHCP pool. Then let's give this one what do we call it? Should we call it phones? Phone. Doesn't matter what you call it as long as you differentiate them, right? So network for our phone will be 192.168.20.0. Sorry, it's a network address. I was almost giving an IP address. Then 255.255.255.0 network mask. Okay, then the next thing to give it is our default router, or default gateway, default router 192.168.20.1. Alright, that's the interface we configured here initially. Okay, then give it an option. This is for TFTP server. Here the phones go to get their firmware. It's beyond discussed, so no need to overly emphasize. Option 150 IP, then 192.168.20.20.1 192, yeah, option change by 1. Okay, so that's done. Exit. IPDC people, IP DH full, let's say PC, caps lock PC. All right, network, network 192.168.10. as you can see, it's a different network. .0 255.255.255.0. all right, default router 192.168.10.1.1 192.168.10.1. okay, it's correct. The other sub interface we created here, where every phone will go to collect its IP address. All right, so what we want to configure now would be the ePhones, because we haven't configured them yet. So in order for us to configure ePhone DN, sorry, directory numbers, that's the numbers that our phones will be using. ePhone DN, our first number. Okay, so number let's give it a number of 1000. Let's just use 2000. It could be anything. 2001. Right, 2001. Then our second ePhone DN2. Let's give it a number of 2003. Okay, then let's go to our third ePhone. We have 4 ePhones, if you remember. Third ePhone, give it a number of 2000. Oh, I gave the other one 2003. That was a mistake. All right, let's give this one 2004. It doesn't really matter, but it's just okay. Our fourth ePhone, this is where it ends. Our fourth ePhone, or ePhone directory number, sorry, we give it a number of 2005. Okay, yeah, that's it, we're done. All right, so go to our IP phones, connect them. This one, connect it. This one, connect it. This one, connect it. So now let's see what's happening. Let's go to our first phone. Okay, the IP is already configuring. It's going to take a minute, it's going to take a while. So let's see this one. Same thing. All right. Okay, let's close this, guys, so we don't. Okay, it's still configuring, it's not done yet. This one still not done. Okay, it usually takes a minute to. Okay, don't think I really need to bring all of them up. I think these 3 are enough, so we'll give it time for it to finish configuring, and when it's done, I was actually going to, okay, this one is done, this one is done, this one is done. You can see this one now is 2004. This one got the 2004 number. This one got the 2005. This one got the 2003. But if we were to configure our earphones manually, not the directory numbers now, our earphones manually, then we'll have to map. Then we'll have to map a number to a MAC address. All right, manually by ourselves. If we had 200 phones, we'll have to configure 200 earphones, mapping each number to a MAC address. So we'll say, technically speaking, we'll be saying this phone, this is your this phone with this MAC address, this is your phone number. This phone with this MAC address, this is your phone number. That's why I used auto register phones, auto assign. All right. So now let's try and let's see if it works. This is 2004, this is 2005. Let's go 2005 and see if it works. Okay. As you can see, it's working. They are connected. All right. So let's end this. Let's use this guy. 2003 to 2003 equals 2005. As you can see, they're all working. So that's how to do a simple configuration of your IP phones on the network. Sorry about that. So if you have any questions about network configuration or anything actually in IT and you want me to help you out, you could actually just drop me a message in the comment section. Hoping to hear from you, and please do drop a like. Okay, we can also check if our phones are able to ping themselves. So this phone, let's check if it's able to get an IP first of all. DHCP. Okay, as you can see, it's on the 192.168.10 network, which is what our data VLAN is actually configured on. We'll give it a DHCP to 192.168.3.10 network. Right. So since they're on the same network, I don't need to tell you that they can ping each other. All right. But I'll still show you that they can actually ping each other. IP configurations. Okay. So if I go here and let's say a command prompt, and I say let's ping 192.168.10. I mean it's the 168.10.4, right? Different device. Ping it. Let's see. So you can see it's a successful ping, meaning devices across even the data network or data VLAN can actually connect to each other using this port. Technically, I've configured 2 VLANs on this port, 2 VLANs on this port, 2 VLANs on this port, 2 VLANs on this port. So thank you all for watching, and I hope this helps you a lot, because I also had issues too in my networking journey, and I hope this also helps you a lot. If you don't get anything, if you don't understand anything, maybe my explanations were not succinct enough or deep enough, you can actually ask me to re-explain what I've said, and I will take out time to do so. Thank you very much, and please do drop a like if you like the video, and if you don't like the video, please drop a reaction, right? Either in the comment section or anything. Just do something. Thank you.